Yo, what's going on, man? Today is April the 6th, 2023. It's your boy Chris, and this is the ChrisBeCappinn NBA show. I'm live on Twitter. I'm also live on YouTube as well right now. Trying to see if we can find some value on some props, man. It's a lot, a lot going on in the NBA. I will say that today is not the greatest day to bet on the NBA. We only got a couple days left in the regular season, and we're starting to see a lot of manipulation of the injury report. The Orlando Magic just ruled out pretty much, not even pretty much, they ruled out their entire starting five. So we're going to have an NBA game without one starter in it and the best bench player as well, that being the Cleveland Cavaliers already ruled out their starting five. They did so yesterday, and Karis LeVert also got ruled out. It is interesting that the line didn't come all the way down. So I guess Orlando is the much more deeper team. I think we all kind of knew that, but let's go ahead and get into it. I don't have an official recap because I didn't play anything yesterday. The one play that I talked about liking the most was the New York Knicks team total to go over 116 and a half, 115 and a half, and that flew over the number. I think they cashed with 5 minutes left. If anybody played that, a lot of the information that was shared yesterday on the show was great information as well in regards to that game. Quentin Grimes points went over, his threes went over. A lot of people were were waiting for lines for Obi Toppin. Obi Toppin crushed his line, his points, his threes. So a lot of great insight, kind of given throughout the chat yesterday. So I'm not gonna stay on here long. I'm not gonna kill you guys and just y'all just be listening to me talk. And I'm gonna go through one look that I got that I'm not that strong on right now either. Because I did do a show earlier this morning and I gave out Orlando minus the 7 before the line had ballooned to 10. I gave out Orlando minus the 7.5. Was it 7? Yeah, minus the 7.5 is what I got it at yesterday. The Magic don't typically sit all their players like this, so it kind of threw me off. Off guard. They do have a game tomorrow against the Nets, so maybe that's the reason why they resting their guys. They want to spoil it for the Nets tomorrow. The Nets are still actively playing for the 6th seed in the Eastern Conference, trying to secure the 6th seed so they don't have to play in the play-in game and have to be a part of that whole play-in one-off kind of tournament situation. So maybe that's what Orlando doing, but they did, like I said, already rule everybody out if people don't know. And like I said, Charlotte did the same thing as well. So let's get into the games and talk about how these lines have changed just a tad bit. First game up is the Cleveland Orlando game. Total in that one had opened at 223. It was already starting to come down to about 218 and a half, 219. I think I saw that. And now it's already down to 214. I see a 213 and a half as well. And I know that's an extremely low total game, but I don't see who's going to score a lot of points in this game. You don't have a lot of point guards. You don't have a lot of natural scores in the game. So that total, let's see. And Orlando came down on the spread. They're a -5 right now. So let's see. I forgot. So team totals. It looks like they're projecting the game to be 110 to 105. I think it could actually go a little bit lower than that. Orlando just ruled out 5 of their starters. Their team total was 114 and a half. So you rule out 5 starters, and your total points, it only drops 5 points. I think it's a tad bit too high still. I'm not playing the total. Maybe you get it on a live number, but if I'm looking to play this game, I'm probably looking at the team total over. Like I said, I was on Orlando already. I played a -7, -7.5. Of course, I don't feel as confident in that play anymore, but they still do have much more depth in this Cleveland Cavaliers team. When you think about guys like Orlando still has, I know for one, I'm going to be looking at Bol props when they drop. Won't be anything heavy, but I'm definitely going to be looking at Bol. I think he's in a primetime spot as far as, just the amount of usage and the amount of minutes that he's going to garner tonight without Paulo Banchero, without Wendell Carter Jr., no Franz Wagner. So I'm looking for him to, have a big game today. Next game up, I'm going to just touch on real quick, Miami and Philly. This is another game that I would kind of wait, just to kind of make sure Philly, is going to play their guys. They do have PJ Tucker and DeAnthony Melton and Maxey all listed as questionable. I'm not 100% sure that Joel Embiid plays in this game or James Harden. We know that Doc's been coming out throughout the season, especially throughout the end of the season, last couple of weeks, and been saying that, they really want to go into the playoffs healthy and whole. So why risk anything? They already, tied up. They already locked up the 3 spot, and they don't really have anything to play for. Miami, on the other hand, they do have something to play for. They're trying to get out of the playing game and catch up to the Brooklyn Nets. The problem is Brooklyn only has their magic number is 1. So if Brooklyn wins again, Miami will be in the 7th seed, and there's nothing that they're going to be able to do about it. But if Miami wins this game, then and Brooklyn loses tomorrow against Orlando, then the situation could change a little bit. So spread did open at 5.5. It's down to 2. Another thing I think to take into consideration is that just because these teams, kind of like need to win doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to win. I think we saw that yesterday with it doesn't necessarily mean they're going to cover the spread. We saw or win the game. Toronto lost yesterday. The Celtics kind of ruled everybody out, and they still won the game against Toronto yesterday. So it doesn't necessarily mean that Philly's going to lay down in this spot. And I think we just kind of wait until you get more information. One thing I think, looking from a motivation perspective, one thing I think is worth taking into consideration. I looked at this earlier. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. It's in regards to James Harden assists. So I just want to get you guys to make sure I say it right. So Harden has so James Harden looks on his way to a second career assist title. He's ahead of Tyrese Halliburton, 10.8 assists to 10.4. But he needs one more appearance to reach the 58 game minimum to lead the league in assists. So that's something that you can kind of, I guess you can kind of handicap or take into consideration for this game specifically, is that James Harden does need at least one more game minimum to make sure he has the assist title. And I'm pretty sure he knows that. I don't know how much it means to him, but I do think that that's something to take into consideration. I looked at James Harden assists, and against the Miami Heat specifically, he has games of 5, 12, and 7 assists so far this season. So do with that information, what you may. The 7 assists, the 12 assist game was in Philly. I'm sorry, only 2 times they played so far this season. He missed the first game. So the home game, he had 12 assists. The road game in Miami, he only had 7 assists. So take with that information and do what you want. Nah, he don't got the assist title, Coop. Like I said, it's Harden right now. I read this morning from one of the beat reporters. Harden has the assist title ahead of Halliburton, 10.8 to 10.4, I think is what it is. You could double check me, but that's what I looked at. Shout out to the chat. Let me go through the comments real quick so I don't get too far behind. Shout out to AOD, Robomatic, my guy RC says, what up, RC? Scotty said was tempted to count dump on Spurs money line, but haven't pulled the trigger yet. Yeah, I think, like I said, I think, I kind of started the show off by saying this. I think it's, it's going to be easier to live bet these games if you guys are watching them versus putting something in that you feel confident in. So I think you just live bet today. If you find a team down by, more possessions than you think they're going to lose by, you live bet them. Make sure you do it during a timeout, during halftime, or end of a quarter. Don't try to live bet in the middle of a play because the line can shift. Tariq said, I took the 7.5 too. FanDuel chops your bet up quick when that spread changes. Yeah, they definitely do. My guy RC said he's on Okiki threes. That could be a solid look. Coop said Bobo season. That's what I'm looking at too. Looks like his points at 13.5. Somebody let me know if they see Bobo points prop. Bobo should eat tonight. He should definitely eat tonight. What else? This is the last Philly home game. I don't think Doc will rest players tonight, but will be on the road. On the road. I could see that, John. I talked about that this morning when I did the morning show. Last home game for Orlando tonight before their season ends. Last home game for Philly before their season ends. But luckily for Philly, I mean, they're gonna host the first round of the Eastern Conference Eastern Conference playoffs against most likely the Brooklyn Nets. So we'll see how that goes. My guy Ronald said he took Tyler Hero under 27.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Could be a solid look. I didn't do any looking into Tyler Hero at all. Don said I took Jazz +7 today and over 227 in Blazers and Spurs. I couldn't talk you off of either one of those. Now, I like the Jazz might actually be the best play today now because I liked Orlando as the best play, but that might be the best play. And then Frank says live betting is where it's at. Kelly Olynyk, 27.5 points, rebounds, and assists. What you think about that line? I would look towards the over, Mike. Kelly Olynyk going to get a lot of usage tonight. We know that Sexton and Jordan Clarkson and Laurie Marketing are all ruled out, and Rudy Gay, and I feel like I'm missing somebody too, but all those guys are ruled out. So I'm going to keep going. I'm going to jump back in. So next game I want to touch on real quick is I'm not touching the Portland and San Antonio game. I don't know who wants to win. 1780 Guap. Where you see Bobo lines at? Tell me what sports book that is. I'm looking for that. Yeah, I think he's in line to get a double captain's at. I couldn't talk anybody off, and I would encourage you guys to go smaller on your plays tonight because any of this stuff could kind of blow up, man. This is some super DGen betting if you guys are betting tonight. It's nothing that I feel extremely confident in. Shout out to Vaughn. I just saw that. Vaughn said Bobo 13.5 on DraftKings. Okay. I'll be on my way to DraftKings then. I like that look. I like the Bobo look. 1780 Guap said he's on Caesars and he sees Bobo. I got both of those. So I'll be looking at Bobo props for sure. I'm not sure who else they're gonna play as a big. So I like that look. Appreciate you, Vaughn. Appreciate you, Guap. Appreciate you, Jamrock, DK, Caesars, and DraftKings. All got Bobo props if you guys are looking for those. San Antonio, Portland, like I said, I'm not touching the game. I do, however, really, really like Malachi Branham tonight. I did play his points, rebounds, and assists earlier today at 22.5 on one book and 21.5 on another book. I think he gets a lot of the usage today. A lot of those guys going to be ruled out as well. They haven't been ruled out quite yet, but the line probably will go up. I think the only one I'm really concerned about right now being ruled in that's listed as questionable is Keldon Johnson. So I like Malachi Branham a lot tonight. I think Portland's probably trying to take this game a little bit more than San Antonio, which is why they're the favorite. But I'm not laying points with the Spurs. I'm also not taking them with Portland either. So best of luck if you guys are playing that game at all. But I do like Malachi Branham a lot tonight. I think he's probably my favorite player prop of the day. Shout out to my guy RC in the chat. He says he's going to get 22 points. So yeah, if he could get 22 points, he cashed the PRA by itself. I think his points prop was sitting at 15.5, and I don't think I see it. I think I checked. I don't think it went up any. So I like Malachi. I like Malachi a lot. My guy RC is on Malachi as well. I like that look a lot tonight. OKC in Utah. I'm not laying points with OKC on the road. This team, I talked about it this morning. They're 0-8 in their last 8 games against the spread. So there's no way I can expect them to win by nearly double digits on the road, especially with how feisty Utah is. We saw Utah be extremely shorthanded. No Laurie Marketing. They got Colin Sexton back in their first game the other day, and they took the Lakers to overtime. So I'm not sure why they can't do the same thing against this Oklahoma City Thunder team that we don't know if they want to win. Everything that I'm hearing from the coach just sounds like they're happy with a participation trophy. If you listen to the beat writers, if you listen to the post game interview, it doesn't sound like they're necessarily confident that they're going to get to the play-in. And I will say this: Oklahoma does hold the tiebreaker over the Dallas Mavericks for the last final play-in spot in the Western Conference. That 10th and final play-in spot, Oklahoma City does hold a tiebreaker because they have the same record as the Dallas Mavericks. So they would need, if they want to win, if they want to make the play-in, they have to win one more game than the Dallas Mavericks, or they just finish with the same record. I'm sorry. They have to finish with the same record as Dallas Mavericks. So Dallas needs to win out, and they need Oklahoma City to lose a game. And then Dallas would get the play in. Dallas has 2 games left. I think Oklahoma City has 2 games left as well. So can they win? I think so. But do they win by 7? I don't think so. So I think it's contrarian to look towards the under in this game, but I kind of lean towards the under as well. I think OKC is 6-1 to the under as a road dog this season. I don't have my notes right in front of me, but I think they're 6-1 to the under as a road dog. And Utah, if you guys haven't been watching them, a lot of people probably hasn't. Utah has been, kind of playing really good defense, specifically in the second half of games. They do this thing where they typically let the opponent come out and get a big lead, and then in the second half they really turn the defense on and they slow teams down. So they're a really good team to take a live bet on at halftime. You live bet the under at halftime because that's when their defense typically shows up. This team plays with a lot of pride, a lot of cohesiveness, and they're not giving up. They're not rolling over. They're not good enough to win the game, I don't think, but they could. But I think that they definitely cover the 7-point spread. I didn't play it, but I'm probably going to end up getting there just because I want a little bit of action. It'll be a smaller play, but I want a little bit of action in tonight, and I think that's the best spread to play. Denver and Phoenix, the last game on the board. I don't like this game at all. Denver looks like they've kind of laid down in this one. They've, the spread goes from 6.5 to 10, and now from 10 all the way to 12. Phoenix is still going to play their guys because they need the continuity. Of course, this is only Kevin Durant, I think, 4th game back since the injury, and still one of the first games that he's going to be playing, in Phoenix as well. So do they cover this large spread? I don't know. I know that they didn't cover it the last time. Denver, like I said, you see a 12-point spread with them. They don't really have anything to play for. They've kind of locked up the number 1 seed in the Western Conference. So it's a difficult game to kind of cap from a side perspective. I think even from a total perspective as well. It's already dropped. It opened at 226.5. It's down to 222.5 now. So 4 points you've lost on the under already. And it kind of makes sense. Denver doesn't score a lot of points without Jokic. Their offense is it looks like it's almost sliced in half without him. So I'm not a big fan of taking a number when it's already so low, especially when we know that, Phoenix has the ability to kind of go off offensively at any given time. Although I will say that they've been winning with their defense more recently. Kevin Durant is a underrated defensive guy. I know a lot of people think of him and think about offense. Kevin Durant will come in the game and lock you up defensively. He changes the trajectory of the defensive end for sure. So I think the total probably goes under, but I'm not playing it because I feel like I've lost too much value there. And I didn't really look at any player props. I haven't even opened the sports book to look at player props in that game. So that's all I got for you guys today. My first play of the day was, I talked about this morning, was Orlando minus the 7. I took them on one book at a 7 and a 7.5 on another book. Actually put that in as soon as I woke up this morning, early this morning. And that line is now 5.5 with Orlando ruling everybody out. So I don't like it as much, of course. I'm not going to endorse that play and give it to anybody else to play that didn't watch the morning show. And then the Miami and Philly game, I did play the total in that one. I played it under 220.5. But I would wait to kind of make sure everybody's ruled in that game. You definitely want Embiid in if you want to play the total. Embiid hasn't been listed as questionable or downgraded throughout the day, but it still kind of feels like he could be listed out or downgraded throughout the day because they really have nothing to play for. So unless they just want to beat up on Miami, and even if he does play, who says that he plays the whole set, the entirety of the game? So I did play the under just because Miami has really struggled as road dogs this season, specifically on the first leg of a back-to-back, and when they're playing against a team that has a better win percentage than they do. They only averaging about 99 points, 96 points per game post All-Star breaking that spot. Philly's also 6-2 to the under at home post All-Star game, and they've really kind of picked it up defensively. We saw, a pretty big heroic defensive effort just a few nights ago against the Boston Celtics. That game didn't even get to 200 points. So for those reasons, I do kind of like the under, but I'm not going to endorse that until I know for sure that, everybody's going to be in. And if Miami wants this game, they're going to have to do it on the defensive end. They don't have enough offense to outscore this Philly team unless Philly just goes out there and not plays hard as well. So that's what I got for you guys as far as plays today. Malachi Branham is my favorite player prop, and then I'm probably going to end up playing OKC. Play Utah plus the 7. Even if OKC wins, I don't think that they win that game by 7 points. So those will be my top looks. If you guys got looks that you want to share, it's going to be a shorter show today, of course. I'm not spending 2 hours on this brand of basketball. We got 5 games and not a lot that I'm really liking. And like I said, I feel like it's the longer the show goes, the more I feel like I'm promoting degeneracy. And I'm not trying to have people just throwing away money betting on these guys that we're not 100% confident in going to get the job done today. Coop said Okigi 15 points is plus 650. That is a super sneaky look. He's gonna be out there for sure. He's gonna get his run. I cannot talk anybody off of that DGen look. It's kind of DGen, but I like that look a lot. Raptors fan said OKC and Utah total under today, Chris. I think so. I didn't bet it. I think the total is pretty high. But I do think that the game goes under. What I will say is I'll probably watch the game if the total at halftime is higher than the current number, which is 239 and a half. If this total goes up to about 250 at halftime, I will be betting it live, and I'll tweet it out too. If I take it live, I will tweet it out. 9:10 start time. If I'm watching it, I might not even be watching that game. Honestly, we'll see. If I like it though, that's what I'll end up playing, and I'll tweet it out too. Uncut said, I think the Jazz spread is good money, but I think the Thunder win the game, so they live money line is the play. I can see it. Phoenix first half could be a play as well, J.R. Black. I couldn't talk you off. Phoenix has won every first quarter so far with Kevin Durant in the lineup, besides the one at OKC the other day. So I think there's something like 6-1 to the first quarter spread. They've won the first quarter pretty handily every single game, and except the game at OKC. So I couldn't talk you off for looking at Phoenix early. I know that number's probably a tad bit inflated right now, so I couldn't talk you off of it though. Frank said, I'm guessing Markelle Fultz will play close over 30 minutes, which puts him at over his 15 points. Scotty got a WNBA play, Skylar Mays, over 15.5 points. I feel like I saw somebody else talk about that today as well. Sir Goat said he's on Heat win margin 1-10 at plus 210, a small sprinkle. Best of luck with that, Sir Goat. Jamrock said he took the Cavs plus 10.5 earlier, right after the Magic news. Okay. Hopefully they don't keep it close. I need the Magic to win tonight. I need them to win by margin, by at least 8. So maybe we could both win. Maybe they win by 9. You win and I win. Yeah, we already talked about that, Damon. You might have jumped in late, but everybody's liking Bol Bol. We talked about Bol Bol a lot tonight. Uncut said he likes the Kings tomorrow against the Warriors. Look ahead spot. I kind of capped the card for tomorrow already too. Not a lot that I like tomorrow either, but I do got a couple looks that I'll talk to you guys about. Tobias Harris over 12.5 points. John, I'm not big on Tobias Harris. It's the whole Tobias Harris, Jimmy Butler thing. I haven't played Tobias Harris one time this year, if I'm being honest with you. I couldn't. I don't know. I did say WNBA play. My fault, RC. Skylar Mays plays for the Blazers. That is right, Scotty. My fault. Skylar Mays got put in the NBA about 3 days ago, so a lot of people probably don't know who he is. My fault. I butchered that one. I'll take the steam for that. I don't think the Mavs get into the playoffs. I like the Thunder to make it at minus 160. If you look at the playoff projections, that would give the Timberwolves and Lakers easy ends. Maybe. Timberwolves will play the Nuggets and the Lakers will play Memphis. Yeah, it's a lot to be, to kind of happen before we get there as far as that goes. Definitely thinking about Skylar Diggins. RC, definitely thinking about Skylar Diggins. Y'all let me live. Real quick, let me get to the request in the chat, man. Get the heat off myself. Dream coming to you, Cam coming to you as well. And then we don't have any more requests. We can. Oh, and my guy RC as well. Dream, can you hear me? I don't know if you connected or not. Cam, I'm gonna come to you. Can you hear me?
Yo, man, what's good?
What's up, man? How you? Yeah, you good? What's going on?
Yeah, no, I'm good. Just want to give a quick shout out to Stephen for murdering that Knicks game. Jesus, I made money off tailing his plays with Quinn Grimes. So.
Yeah, Stephen hit a plus 13,000 last night. I don't know what he put on it, but he came up last night. Not a plus 1,300. He had a plus 13,000 last night, based on what he had given out in the chat. Man, that was crazy. But yeah, shout out to Stephen.
I didn't just put $5 a pot piece on that. That's a true blood money bet. That would have, that covers a whole year's of losses.
Absolutely.
But now he killed it. And Nick Nurse killed me a little bit, but the Raptors, my Pascal, everybody was on him yesterday, and he showed out. He did what he's going to do. I'm going to say moving forward, with Pascal. Like, I think it's almost, if you see his line at 22.5 or his first quarter at 6.5, he's the only one out there that cares. The rest of the team don't care anymore. So, anyway, I'm gonna get to, as you said, it's a pretty weak slate, but the just 2 plays. The one is Jimmy Butler over 23.5. I know it's one of those games where it's like maybe they decide not to play him, but it's like you said, that Brooklyn's one win away from clinching, and they don't have that win yet. So I think Miami's going to go out there and try and win today, just to see if they can put themselves in contention for that 6th seed. And Jimmy Butler has gone over 23.5 7 of his last 10 games. He's not really in rest mode. Like, as we know, Jimmy Butler hasn't really played basketball here. That's what he does. He starts to ramp up, and he seems to get his activity going before the playoffs. So when he does play, he plays. Jimmy's not one of those guys who comes in and kind of like takes it easy. He's still going to go for it. So I'm just going with the law of averages. He goes over that 23.5 more times than not. So that's my one play. That's at -1. Found it at -110 on FanDuel. And then Bobo's numbers are also up on Bet365. I messaged you on the side about that because I was like, instantly, I was watching the earlier show when you're talking about Wendell Carter Jr. I was going to lock in his double-double, and then obviously they all got ruled out. Bobo's been going off whenever he's kind of the guy. So 13.5 just seems real low. So I played his 13.5 over 13.5, and I'm going to play his double-double at +175 and call it a day.
Yeah, I like it. Short, simple, sweet, and to the point, Cam. I like it. So Jimmy, points, right? Over 23.5?
Points over 23.5. Bobo points over 13.5. And then you can just sprinkle on his double-double +175. If you want to get frisky, if you really want to be a DGen, Maurice Wagner's double-doubles at +300. One of them is going to get a double-double. Someone got a rebound. But I'm just going to go with Bobo tonight.
I like it. I like the looks, man. I would probably play these as well. I know I didn't mention Jimmy Butler, but Jimmy typically eats when he plays against his team. Something about when the Sixers play, when the Heat play against teams that play really good defense and nobody else can score, when Tyler Hero isn't making his jumpers and Strus isn't making his jumpers and Gabe Vincent typically is contributing, but Bam is having a slow night, they always go to Jimmy Butler. So he's the one guy that has the advantage, and we know how late season Jimmy can turn into a go-getter. So I like the looks, Cam. I like Jimmy a lot.
Free throw line, right? That's kind of the correlation.
The bully ball, yeah.
Score, he's just like, screw it, I'm just gonna get to the line.
Mm-hmm.
You can get there 8-10 times. I get you basically there, right?
Yeah, a lot of bully ball.
But we'll see tonight. I think that's the game I think anybody's gonna be watching. I'm hoping the 76ers keep it close and decide they want to play basketball tonight, because I do think it's also a measuring stick game, right? Because let's just say the Nets do lose that 6th seed somehow, because I looked at they got like Orlando and somebody else that they shouldn't. That 6-3 spot, like, if Miami takes 3 or 4 of the regular season, they go in there confident. Like, you know what I mean? They go in there be like, yo, we beat you. I know a 7-game series is different, but it's not like the Miami team doesn't have that superstar talent. Like, when the Raptors went into a 7-game series after beating the 76ers, it was like, yeah, but they ain't got like that number one guy that can handle a 7-game series. Whereas you look over at the Heat, you got Jimmy Butler. So anything can happen, I think, if the 76ers and Miami face off in that first round, in my opinion. So
I like it. If they face off in the first round, Cam, I'm gonna say that the Sixers smash the Heat if they face off in the first round. I'm just not a believer in this version of the Heat team, man. They they could prove me wrong, but just looking at all my numbers, watching them play, I just can't get behind this team right now. I know that this is similar to the team that they beat last year, but you got a healthy Harden, you got a healthy Embiid. It's a conversation for another day, and we'll potentially talk about it. But I think Philly got a pretty easy spot. I think that they beat the Nets or they beat Miami in the first round. Probably 4-1, at the least 4-2. I don't think either one of those games. Honestly, I don't think they make it to 6, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Like the looks from Cam though. Jimmy, I like his points, 23.5, Bol points and double-double. Real quick before I come to Frag in the chat, Coop mentioned something extremely, extremely interesting that I'm gonna look a tad bit into a little bit more. Trey Jones, assists. He says he's averaging 12.8 potential assists in the last 5, and they're playing against the G League Blazers. He should get his he should get his ladder. He could potentially get his ladder, I think is what he's trying to say. I like Trey Jones' assist tonight. Probably gonna be a fast-paced game. I'm gonna see who gets ruled in and who gets ruled out in that game. But Trey Jones assist. He's coming off a triple-double against the Sacramento Kings, I think 2 games ago as well, over the weekend when they won that game as road dogs, 16-point road dogs in Sacramento. So I can see that. I can see Trey Jones, especially if he's the primary and secondary ball handler tonight. I like that look a lot. Let me kick it to Frag. Frag, what's going on? What you got for us today, my brother?
Yo, Chris, what's going on, brother?
What up, man? How you?
Good, man. Hey, shout out, what's his name, man? Shout out Stephen, man. Paid in full yesterday, man. That game was YMCA crazy.
Stephen got everybody paid last night.
Man, I went 1-on-1 with the officials. I had Raptors money line, and then Christian Wood that came through for the prop. But Stephen, that's all Stephen on the other plays, man. I ain't gonna take no credit for that. That was all Stephen. I hit my first ladder because of the dude. I bet my first one because of him. So definitely shout out Stephen, man. I was tuning into the game. I got out of work early. I'm watching the game. Man, I'm sick. I didn't have no money on top end. I didn't have nothing on quickly. It was straight YMCA.
Bro, it was a layup line. It was a layup line, Frank. And I talked about it, debated it. It was like, yeah, my favorite play of the day is the Knicks team total over. Haven't really seen them without Brunson and Randall. Man, quickly, what, bro? Quickly looked like he was going to the Hall of Fame last night.
Nah, quickly's different. I ain't gonna lie. IQ's different. That was, but definitely shout out Stephen, man. That was awesome. And then one other thing before I play, man. Ty Lue, man, working for the books, man. I knew it. That's why I didn't give out that AD prop, man. Once I seen him start talking about they're not going to double AD on the block, I was immediately off that shit. Turn the game on. He dumping AD every time he touched the ball.
Out the gate.
Ty Lue works for the books, man. This guy's evil, man. I'm telling you. And then even the Westbrook thing, he had benched him kind of, but I kind of see why he did because Bones was lighting him up. So I mean, I'll give him a pass on that because it was, he does stuff like that when it's a hot hand, you leave him out there. I agree with that. So
Westbrook also kind of streaky. I was watching that game last night.
Well, they was leaving him open on the 3, and he was being hesitant, and then also he wasn't like really being a decisive maker. So he's like, screw that. I'm putting Powell and Bones and people that can shoot from deep, or they gonna make a play. So I didn't mind it because they were starting to lose the lead with Westbrook a little bit.
No, that's a fact. That's what I was saying. He was streaky. He came out hot, and it propelled them to a nice lead at the beginning of the game, and then you see him kind of cool off a little bit. Bron kind of sagging, playing in the paint. And then he started missing a couple, and when you miss a couple, you lose confidence, especially if the Lakers are, starting to get back into the game because they did go on that big run. I think it was like 17-3 or something like that in the third quarter. Like and Ty Lue just pulled him out, and you saw Westbrook; he didn't even have a problem with it. So, Fred, I'm with you on all that.
But yeah, I got a couple ones here today. Small unit plays, man. Not looking to go overboard as well, like from yesterday. I'm gonna take. I like Chetty Osman today, man. 17.5, man. I think it's a good spot for him as far as big usage. A lot of the players on the team are facilitators. You got Neto, that's a good facilitator, a guy who pushes the pace when he gets the ball. I've noticed. And then Ricky Rubio. I mean, those guys are they're not looking to score. They're looking to set people up. And I think Chetty's a big piece for the Cavs as far as the bench. Just trying to build a couple. Building blocks and just getting into the playoffs. Obviously this is a big year for Cleveland. They want to try to make noise. So I think Chetty, try to go into the playoffs with some momentum. And then also Dean Wade, man, 8.5. I think 8.5 is too low for this guy, man. This could be a first half cash if Ricky Rubio finds him. So I'm going with those two for half a unit. I think it's just a good spot. I think it's similar to the game yesterday. With the Knicks, it's it could be YMCA out there, man. Just these guys don't get that much opportunity. So when push comes to shove, this guy is like a Kevin Love archetype. So you find him in the corner, he's a deadly shooter, man. This guy can shoot. So I think if he gets 10 shots today, man, I don't see why he can't get an 8.5 against these guys.
What's his number, Fred?
8.5 for what's his name? It was just. I never bet on this guy before, but I was watching him last time they played Forgot Dean Wade. That's
Dean Wade. Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah, he played for Kansas State. I remember him from college, but he coming back from injury. I think that's why they let go of Kevin Love because he's like literally a K Love archetype, just younger. So
that's a fact. That's a fact. Kevin Love starts taking all his minutes.
Yeah, and then they ain't have to pay K Love now, so they save money with him, and I think they got to give him opportunity. Obviously, he was injured, so he's just getting back into the groove. So 8.5 for him. And then 17.5 for Chetty Osman. Both half units, not looking to go overboard on this slate.
Okay.
Because it's ugly.
Yeah, it's ugly. It's ugly. I'm gonna get through the couple speakers, Greg, and I'm getting off here, bro. I got a lot of things I could be doing with my time versus looking at this slate.
And then, for who's questionable for the Spurs as far as like Keldon Johnson and them guys, they all out or are they still questionable?
Man, you know how Popovich do it, bro. Popovich worked for the books too. He one of the inventors of working for the book. So yeah, we gotta, man, hold on. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
I was looking to bet that Malachi guy or whatever.
Malachi Branham, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty. Looks like a pretty low line for.
Yeah.
But he could also go out there and play 20 minutes for some reason, just randomly.
Yeah, he been getting over his 20 minutes though. He has been getting over his 20 minutes. Let me see what I'm looking at real quick if I can find anything with an update. Let's see. So 2 hours ago, what to watch for. So the game is gonna be played in Austin. I don't know if people realize that it's not gonna be played in San Antonio tonight. Let's see. We got. I don't see it. I'm looking for it. I don't see. Typically, they have it at the bottom.
You think they just already ruled out from like a prior day?
I don't think so. I feel like I saw it yesterday, but I don't see like an update. Probably because the Spurs. What I follow is the Spurs beat reporter list, and they just be tweeting. You would think that they go into the playoffs many tweets as they be sending out. So I'm just strolling right now.
Well, I see Vassell and Graham are out,
which is more minutes. That's definitely more minutes. And typically it ain't this hard to find either.
The big one is Keldon Johnson. That's the he's questionable.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's Keldon for some reason.
Then you got Romeo Langford too. Oh no, that's a mess.
Yeah, it's a big mess, bro. It's definitely a big mess.
But yeah, that's all I got, man. Honestly, that's just late plays today. I'll wait on those injury news, see what's going on with those guys.
Okay.
So I might look to bet him, but I feel like his line's gonna shoot up once they get ruled out. So
no, that's a fact. So it's really just him, though. It's really just him and Romeo Langford is what I see from yesterday. It looks like Fred. I see it now. Yeah. So Kim Birch is out, Devontae Graham, Doug McDermott, Jeremy Sohan, Devin Vassell all out, and Keldon Johnson and Romeo Langford both listed as questionable, and Zach Collins listed as probable is what I see from yesterday.
Okay. Well, Zach Collins could be kind of sneaky going against his old team here. They're not playing any defense, so
that's a fact. That's a fact.
But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. And man, one more last thing, man. I go look at the freaking Pelicans box score yesterday. They got Herb Jones with 40 points, man. I bet the trifecta he couldn't even get 5 points, man. I couldn't believe what I saw yesterday.
Yeah, the Pelicans and the Bulls should be investigated. The way their games went yesterday, they should be investigated, man.
What the heck was that, man?
Yeah.
Fouling on the free throw.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm taking too much time. My bad.
No. It's all good, bro. It's all good, man. I was about to tweet that last night. Like they definitely should be investigated for what they was doing last night. Not playing any defense. Somehow they was able to get the win. More so of a meltdown from the Grizzlies from my perspective. Especially to even get back into the game. So yeah, I'm with you there. Let me kick it to Dream. I know he's been waiting for a minute. What up, Dream?
What's the vibes, man?
These ain't good vibes, Jane. I mean, they good vibes, but it ain't a good slate,
Positivity, bro.
Absolutely. I built my life on it.
When I think of positivity on this app, my brother, I think of you, man.
I appreciate that.
Trolling you a couple weeks ago, And I'm like, you know what? I need to be more like that because I try to be a positive person, but sometimes I don't know if I could react that way. I'm like, look at this dude with a way bigger platform reacting positively. So positive vibes, man.
Absolutely,
like my boy Lamar said, this is a shit show or it's a gold mine, man. I think tonight could be a gold mine, man.
Okay.
So my only, I got two plays, and I'm gonna post some lottos on my page, man. We'll see what happens, but yeah. Skylar Mays, somebody already talked about him. I'm on his points and assists over 21 and a half. Basically, you know, he got in the league 3 days ago. He's fighting for his life. But he's really been playing well. So I was doing my research on him, and I came across this stat that basically says he's the NBA ball handler with the most points. Basically, point guards that lead the pick and roll over the last 3 seasons with minimum of 200 pick and rolls ran, he's the most efficient point guard ever. Obviously, he's not that great, but that just points to his usage that he's getting. There's nobody else for Portland. If Shaedon Sharp get ruled out, I love this line even more, but I love it as it is. Yeah, man, his rating, offensive rating, is the highest basically of all time off the pick and roll. It's crazy. So these dudes is fighting for their job. I think he just had 24, 8, and 7 last game. I couldn't talk you off a ladder in his assists. I said sprinkle his double-double at plus 700. You on Malachi, it's crazy because I did a parlay with Malachi, PRA. What did you on with Malachi? What you on?
His PRA, 21 and a half, and I got it at 22 and a half too.
Yeah, I got a parlay with 25 in his PRA and 25 points and assists with Skylar and 30 and 30, the same thing. Pay like plus 500 and like plus 1,300, man. So I heard a few cappers mention Malachi, and I thought I heard you mention him too. So yeah, I'll put that. But I love Skylar Mays tonight. He should get all the usage in the world. And yeah, I think he can cover this number of points alone. So yeah, if you're giving me the assists, I'll take it. And my next play is Cole Anthony, over 18 and a half points plus 100. If you want to buy the point, get it at minus 132. Yeah, so he flirts with this number off the bench. I follow the trash teams, and not that the Magic is trash, but I follow them. And I just don't understand. His line plummeted. Now, maybe Vegas knows something I don't know. Maybe they did, but it was at 21 and a half when it first came out on DraftKings. And I was thinking about playing it then, but I'm like, let me just wait and see all the news. Then it's down to 18 and a half. Again, I don't know why it dropped 3 points. Maybe it got bet low as hell, but I love it. Let me just look. I posted it on my timeline. So his last 10 games, he got 15, 17, 16, 10, 21, 18, 16, 17, 18, and 17. So yeah, that's not going over the 18 and a half. But again, he should start tonight. He should lead them in shots tonight. And if he's flirting with this number off the bench, sharing the floor as he often does with Paolo and sometimes what's the boy named Fultz at the end of games. Yeah, it's gonna be his show tonight. And his daddy sent a crazy tweet when they was talking about like there's no reason to keep him because they got too many guards, which they do with Jalen Suggs and Markelle Fultz playing hard. So there's no need to keep him. They need to get rid of him. And his dad shared the tweet, quoted it, Greg Anthony, former NBA player, and was like, yeah, just trade him then. So this is his showcase tonight. I can't talk nobody off Bo. I'm about to post a plus 1,300 lay with him with 2 threes and 2 blocks and like 7 or 8 rebounds. But yeah, I think Cole Anthony is the one tonight that's going to really get off. So Cole Anthony over 18 and a half points and Skylar Mays over 21 and a half points in assists. You can play his double-double plus 700 or you can ladder his assists. They about the same odds, whatever you want to do. Oh yeah, and the recap yesterday, man. DeMar awful. I don't know what the fuck was up with him. Yeah, but we did cash Jaden Ivey double-double, and I don't know how quickly he cashed his double-double. Shout out to Stephen. But yeah, he had 7 assists at halftime and finished with 9, man. So I should have cashed 2 of them plus money bets. But yeah, that's what I'm on tonight.
I like it. I like it, Dream. You like the investigator for all the trash teams, bro. You know all the players. Typically, I do too, but I feel like I've been kind of focusing more on the size and the totals, and you've been doing the work that I usually do, man. So I like it. I like it a lot, man. Dream is absolutely, dude. So somebody got to do the work, man. I feel like you've been doing it consistently throughout the whole year. Hey, Dream, I got just to put a little future bug in your ear. So tomorrow, the Pistons travel to Indiana, and Indiana laying 7.5 points with Halliburton ruled out already. I'm gonna just let that marinate. We know how Indiana been playing recently, so I'm gonna just let that marinate, bro.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that's gonna be crazy. I'm already looking.
I tell you what, I hope Bagley ain't playing, because goddamn, Darren could be 20 and 20.
20. I was thinking that. I was thinking Jay Navi double, which you talked about last night. That was plus 650.
He went to school in Purdue. Ain't Purdue in Indiana?
No, don't get me I don't know about the geographic of any of them schools that I don't know nothing about.
I'm pretty sure Purdue, Indiana. Don't give me the line either. It might be Illinois. All right, but yeah, man. Yeah, we're going to be on it.
Yeah, for sure. Appreciate you, Dream. Best of luck tonight, man. Skylar Mays, points plus rebounds, and Cole Anthony.
Nah, points plus assists.
Points plus assists. I'm sorry, 21.5 points plus assists.
Can't talk you off the rebounds neither, though. Like Wham the Great, he said he liked his PRA. Can't talk you off that neither.
Okay. Official for Dream, Skylar Mays, points plus assists, 21.5, and Cole Anthony to go over his points, and I like that. I like that a lot. I saw an article. I didn't get a chance to read it. I saw an article posted by Orlando Magic Daily, which is one of their beat writers, that said that he's gonna that they're gonna probably get rid of two of those young talents that they have. So it's gonna be interesting. I got to go back and read the article. I'm pretty sure his name probably was mentioned, because you can't get rid of Franz, you can't get rid of Paolo. So I would think it's probably Cole, especially with Markelle Fultz playing the way that he's been playing. So. I like it. Back to Frag real quick. The man of the hour, get Stephen up real quick, and Great White, and we getting up out of here, man. I ain't spending all day on this app capping these trash games. What's up, Frag? Back to you real quick before I kick it to Stephen.
Yeah, the only thing on the Cole Anthony play is they already tweeted a lineup out. He's not starting for some reason, so they got something fishy going on over there. We're just not starting. They got some guy named Houston starting. I don't even know why he's starting. They got Suggs over him, which, I mean, I guess. So, yeah, just, be careful maybe. I don't know what they, something fishy going on there, I think.
Yeah.
I appreciate the only thing I would say to that, I still expect them to lead them in shots off the bench and get 30 minutes. I still expect them to get 30 minutes. They probably just did that because Suggs is the one that they prefer right now over Cole Anthony.
Yeah.
So, and Caleb Houston is their young guy who really not going to shoot. So, yeah, I knew it had to be a reason the points went down. I couldn't see, but I still love it. Cause
it's definitely a good play. I just want to, put the lineup out there just so everybody knows.
Nah, Frag, you my boy. I appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate you sharing that too, Frag. Okay. Yeah, it's a lot of, man. See, this I knew this was gonna happen. I knew I was gonna get in here and end up liking a lot of the stuff that y'all was talking about. It's gonna be interesting to see what ends up cashing tonight. But I like it a lot, man. I like what I'm hearing a lot. Anyway, sounds like it's not just plays, but it's a lot of research and analysis done as well. Man of the hour, plus 13,000 last night. Stephen, what's going on, bro? How you doing today, man?
Listen, man, how you doing? First off, how you doing?
I'm good, bro. Not as good as you, but I'm okay.
Nah, man, we all trying to bask in you. I just want to congratulations, man. I'm definitely going to be subscribing. I just want to give you a round of applause for all the hard work you put in, being up every day. It's not easy capping all these damn games every day. But some days I'm like, man, how are you even up right now looking at boxing, man? I just want to go to sleep,
I appreciate that, Stephen. You just don't know the grind, bro, but I appreciate it, man, for sure.
Facts, bro. Facts. First, thank you, Dream, man. I appreciate the kind words, bro. I always say, if I ever have a big night, the next day you're only allowed to do one play. Don't give the money back to the folks. So mine is really obscure. I just hopped on. The only play I'm on is I'm grabbing Drew Eubanks, the center for the Blazers. I'm grabbing his 2 blocks that's plus money. Now he's got like this weird lower back spasm thing, but listen, only I know this because I have a friend who covers the Spurs. So Eubanks was actually a guy who kind of got let go by the Spurs 2 years ago. And it was kind of not gracious at all. He kind of hated the fact how he got let go. So he's played against the Spurs, I want to say, in the last 3 times, 18 minutes, has a block in each. But over the course of his last 5 games, he's kind of killing his blocks line. And if you look at the season when he plays over 28 minutes, which is kind of the number I had in my head before I looked at the stats, his blocks in the last 5 go 2, 1, and then 6, 6, and 4. So I was talking to my guy who like kind of covers the Spurs. I'm not going crazy. I'm only doing 1 unit tonight. But he was just talking about like how like the Spurs have this weird thing where like their ownership might move the team to Austin. They're from Austin, which is like an hour from San Antonio. Like 5 of their top players might not play tonight. I haven't had a chance to look at the injury report. And he was just saying that, like, you know what? In a game like tonight where it's going to be a bunch of G Leaguers who don't know what the hell they're doing, trying to make the team, maybe force some shots. You know, you got a guy out there who used to play for the team. He's going to be motivated. He's going to kill his block line. Like, it's just, I'm not guaranteeing a winner. I'm just saying it's not the worst thing in the world to look at on like a garbage, sloppy slip. That's all I'm saying.
Yo, Stephen, on that, the unceremonious release was when they sent him to the Raptors in that Thaddeus Young trade, and the Raptors probably should have kept him, just let him go with no reason, and he had to go try and find a team. So that's exactly like I can co-sign that. It was a news because even the Raptors beat writers were kind of like, why we even lose this guy? He was just throwing to make money work, and we just cut him.
Oh, Cam, bro, I appreciate the backup there because I remember it was a while ago. All I remember from the story, because like I read like so much every day. It's like when he got let go, it was just like, you know how like they always say on the internet, like this is the origins of like a villain. Bro, like they did him dirty. Like they let him go. He had no notice. He had to move his whole family. Like they just like, he was like a guy who came in with the right attitude, and then they're like, get the hell up out of here. So,
he probably found out on Twitter that he got let go.
Facts. Yeah, bro, it's literally like that. So listen, I don't want to overhype this play. I'm only going 1 unit. I'm staying light tonight, so I'm just hoping it comes through.
Drew Eubanks over 1.5 blocks.
1.5. Let's keep the hot streak going.
Let's go, Stephen. Let's go, man. I like it. I like it a lot. Real quick before I kick it to were you done, Stephen, or you had something else?
Oh yeah, I'm done. Yeah,
okay. Okay, I just want to make sure. Before I kick it to Great White, so I talked about, somebody put it in the chat, said Ivy from Indiana. Me and Dream were kind of just talking about it. I looked it up. Ivy is from Indiana. He's from I'm not even going to try to butcher how to pronounce that. Mishawaka. I think is how you pronounce it. I could be wrong, but it looks like Ivy is from there. He's played in Indiana one time this season. It looks like it's probably the first game of the season back on October the 22nd. I know the season didn't start too much before October 22nd. So if it wasn't the first game, probably the second game. At that time, I think he might have been starting, but he probably was splitting minutes as well. He played 34 minutes, had 17 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists in that game. So, yeah. Take with that information and do what you want when them lines come out tomorrow for Ivy, being that we just saw what Grimes did and what Quickly did. And I don't even mean like him shooting the ball, which he has. I did see a report come out to say he's been working on his shot as well. He said he's been shooting a lot of 3-pointers because you feel like teams been kind of disrespecting him going underneath the pick and roll. But he's definitely no Quentin Grimes. But he is
Quentin Grimes, bro.
Right. He is going to attack. He is going to attack, and they have no rim protection, especially if Miles Turner gets ruled out, which he's listed as questionable, but I don't think that he plays tomorrow. Why play tomorrow? So we'll see what happens.
Real quick before I go, I want to get your thoughts. What are your thoughts? Because we're going to get Knicks Pacers on Sunday again. So, one, I want to get your thoughts on, like, obviously when the books get slapped up like last night, because I saw a bunch of reckless mulattoes that hit. That's one. And two, I'll just say this because obviously it's like a whole game away, so I don't know what's going to happen. I have a guess, though, what's going to happen. My guess is that, like, Mitchell Robinson won't play because it's the last game of the season, and then Jericho Sims is going to be in there. And then if they give me a rebound ladder, like, to the freaking moon with that dude, because that dude could jump out the door. I don't know if anyone's ever seen him play. He had that terrible dunk contest, but that dude could easily grab, like, 16 rebounds if you gave him 40 minutes. So I just want to get your thoughts on Sunday, like the last game of the season.
Yeah, it's kind of similar to this, Stephen. Guys just going out there, really just trying to, trying to make sure they don't get hurt. A lot of guys going to be checked out. So, I think last year we didn't even see a lot of lines. I remember cashing last year. I don't remember if it was Jericho Sims or not, but I know I cashed with Jericho Sims last year. It was a game against the Wizards, and I took his rebounds ladder. I think I might have took him up to 16, and he cashed the whole thing last year. So
like, I don't want to get into Knicks talk, but real quick on the Knicks, like, bro, Tibbs is gonna just play like whoever 40 minutes Like they really just believe in like player development. So like if you're sitting there on Sunday and you have nothing better to do, and, like you see like every New York Knicks is out and like Trevor Keels is out. Like I know nothing about this guy. I would just take his ladder on like points because I'm like, whoever's gonna start's gonna play 40 minutes because Tibbs ain't playing nobody on Sunday.
Bruh, it's crazy you say that, Stephen, because I watched Obi get hurt yesterday, and I was like, oh, Obi done.
Yeah.
Man, Obi come back and score like 25 points after he got hurt. I thought he wasn't even gonna be able to shoot the free throws, and he was gonna have to go to because if you don't shoot the free throw, you can't come back in the game. I was like, oh, he done. He goes to shoot the free throws, walks the joint off, and just plays the whole rest of the game like he didn't even get hurt. No precautionary measures, almost like y'all had Julius Randle still. I'm like, yo, Tibbs is a bad guy, dog.
Hey, you know what's crazy about this? I love it. My guy ChrisBeCappinn, who actually like great writer, he actually like does the press conferences. And he said to Tibbs one time about the whole like load management and minutes. And then Tibbs kind of gave like it wasn't snarky, it was funny. It was just like, can you show me a chart of players who play 40 minutes and what their career looks like? Because he just believes like if you say you're good to go, like you're playing 40. That's why I knew RJ was playing yesterday because I'm like, if you sign up and say I'm good to go, like you're intentionally saying that, like, yeah, you're gonna pay me for 2 hours tonight of cardio.
Right. Yeah, and that's a fact. That's a fact, bro. I love it, man. We need more coaches like Tibbs for sure. Old school basketball. At least you know when you sign up for a Knicks guy, it's gonna be the guy. Shaden Sharp just got ruled out. So if you want to jump on Mays, you probably want to put it in ASAP. Just FYI. No Shaden Sharp tonight. Let me kick it to Great White real quick before we get up off here. What's up, Great White? How you doing today, my brother?
Good, bro. Good, man. Happy that Dylan Brooks 2-unit play catch last night with no problem.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And you did it in double overtimes. That's a hell of a look by you, man.
Yeah, man. So we got. Has anybody spoke about Jimmy Butler assists?
Nah, nobody played his assists. Somebody mentioned his points at the beginning. Cam was on his points.
Okay. All right. I think Jimmy Butler overall is gonna have a big game tonight. But I'm focusing on his assists right now. So it's still at over 5.5. I got that for 1 unit. I'm expecting a playoff type game between the 76ers and the Heat. The Heat, they need this game more than the 76ers, but we already know the 76ers are playing to, get Embiid the MVP or secure it. In Butler's last 6 games, he's gone over 5.5 assists 5 times, and the one time he did not, he ended at 5. So if somebody would have made one more shot from his pass, he would have cashed it. So I think he's going to hit at least 6 tonight. I'm only doing 2 plays on this game alone. Then my second play is going to be Joel Embiid. I couldn't believe I saw this line. His rebounds over 9.5. I got that for 1 unit. In his last 10 games, he's hit it 5 times. But in 3 of those misses, he ended at 9. I also did a history check when Embiid goes against Bam. And Embiid averages 11.5 rebounds per game every time he goes up against Bam, including the last time that they played, which was February 27th of this year. He grabbed 12 rebounds versus the Heat and Bam. So those are the 2 plays. I'm keeping it short. I know we got to go. And let's everybody cash their tickets.
Absolutely, man. I like the looks, man. I couldn't talk you off of either one of them. As long as Embiid plays the whole game, it's gonna be interesting to see. So far, we haven't gotten anything about him being ruled out. Looks like Lou Dort is ruled in, which means that you might get a better line if you do want to take the Jazz, which I probably will, but I haven't done so yet. Like I said, Shaden Sharp is out. Giannis has also just been ruled out for tomorrow, which makes sense. They already secured the number 1 spot in the Eastern Conference. Drew Eubanks is in. I know. Stephen said that he liked his blocks over 1.5 tonight. And that's what we got, man. That's what we got. A lot of sharp looks, man. Like I think Dream kind of said it best, man. It could be it could be terrible, or it could be something really, really great. Brooke Lopez also ruled out tomorrow. All of the Bucks probably gonna not play tomorrow. It don't make sense for them to play. They don't got nothing to play for. And I think the line was already at 8. The Bucks play. Don't they play? I feel like they play Dallas tomorrow. Dallas needs the game. They don't. They still could win, honestly. No, I'm tripping. They don't play Dallas. They play Memphis tomorrow at home. with no line available. So that is what it is. We'll by the time I do a show again, it'll probably be a lot more information for tomorrow. Guys sitting out and being rested and stuff. Jamrock said Bobby Portis Day tomorrow. Absolutely. Bobby Portis to the moon tomorrow. Probably 15-15 type game for him. He been cashing. And they probably going to put his points and rebounds up. Rebounds probably come out at 13.5. Points probably come out at like 19.5. But he probably still get both. So I like it. I like it a lot, man. I like the look, Jamrock, for sure.
Hey, Chris, what was Great White's second play? I had like stepped out. I couldn't have missed it.
Embiid rebounds?
Oh, Embiid rebounds. What did he get, 10.5?
9.5, I think you said. Didn't you say 9.5, Great White?
Yeah, it was at 9.5.
Yeah, I think it's 9.5. Yeah.
Okay. I appreciate you, man.
Yeah. Real quick in the chat, my official. So I talked this morning. I had already gave out the Magic, of course. If you guys watched the morning show, I gave out the Magic -7, -7.5. Of course, I don't want to take it without the starters being ruled in, so I won't add that today. But I will say that if the 76ers and the Heat play everybody, if everybody plays in that game, and we did get news that Kyle Lowry and Bam are officially ruled in, so it looks like the Heat, probably going to try to go for the win, even though I thought they were going to play anyway. I do like the under in that game, 220.5. The Heat just really don't score a lot. If the 76ers play and Joel Embiid plays, I do think that the game stays under the 220.5. I did play that one already this morning. It was actually my favorite look. And then Malachi Branham, I talked about him as well. I played his points, rebounds, and assists over 21.5 and over 22.5. I had two books offering me different numbers, so I played both of those. Take with that and do what you wish. And then the Jazz, I like the Jazz on the spread. I think they're catching too many points at home, and I don't think the Thunder going to win that game by 8 points. So haven't played that one officially yet, but that would be my top spread look if I had to play one today. Also, couldn't talk anybody off. Looking at the Suns, first quarter, first half, they may potentially rest Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Chris Paul, DeAndre Ayton in the second half. But it wouldn't surprise me if they came out and tried to assert their dominance early in that game. I didn't play it, but that's how I'm kind of looking in that game. And then a lot of people on Skylar Mays, I think the Dean Wade look that Fred gave out is solid. Trey Jones assist is something I'm gonna look into that Coop mentioned as well. And Bo, we talked about Bo as well. Ton of value on the board, man. You guys really just gotta pick and choose what it is that you absolutely love. But those would be the top looks that I think that are being mentioned. And Jimmy Butler, I talked about him as well. He's the guy that typically plays well, in Philly. They let go of him. That whole he always had a revenge on his mind when he comes back and plays against the 76ers. So that's what we got, man. 5-game slate, trash slate, but hopefully we get some cash. We've been on for a little over an hour. I appreciate everyone for tapping in. And I don't know if people saw the video or not, but I am about to. Well, it actually started already. You guys can join now. I won't promote it all the time or none of that. But if you guys want to just support the show, if you guys want what else is it? It's there's two tier packages that you guys can, monthly subscriptions that you guys can join. You can join as a supporter, or you can join as a ChrisBeCappinn community member. So the supporter package is $2.99 a month. The ChrisBeCappinn community package is $5.99 a month. Supporter package comes with loyalty badges. There's a members only chat rooms where I'll be active in all the time. You guys will know my thoughts based on injury news, live looks, different things like that. Priority reply to comments. So I typically reply to all the comments, but I'll definitely try to give a more in-depth analysis around any questions that you guys have, any plays that you guys might have if you're a member as well. Of course, community shout outs. I shout out everybody all the time. And then there's certain emojis that you guys can use as well. It's really just to, kind of show some support. $2.99 a month as we kind of gear up for the playoffs. And then the ChrisBeCappinn community is community member level is the upper tier, which is $5.99 a month. And that comes with a list of resources. If you guys, anybody that's aspiring to learn how to cap the games the way that I do and want the resources that I have, I'll give you guys, you just shoot me a DM if you sign up. Give you guys at least 10 resources that I use to kind of handicap the games. Let you guys know where I'm getting all the information because I get those questions all the times. You also have access to all the bets that I place. When I place them, I'll put those in there as well, so you get ahead of the line if you want to. And then there's also going to be member only live streams as well, and discounted merch. I always got the ChrisBeCappinn t-shirts on, typically $30, but I'll there'll be $15 if sizes are available. So And then everything in tier 1 as a supporter comes in tier 2 as well. So just so you guys know, feel free to take advantage. You also don't have to. And I'm gonna still be giving out my looks as well, man. I enjoy doing this. It's just a way to kind of show a little bit of support if you guys are interested. And that's what I got for you guys. I think it's been a pretty good show. Back tomorrow. The handicap, we got about 7 games tomorrow. I already got some things that I'm looking at. So best of luck tonight, man. Like I said, live bet. It's gonna be some pretty good looks, I think, on the board live betting tonight. And I hope you guys cash the tickets that you play. I'm out.